Welcome in on a Friday. It's just funny. We get comfortable with our own world, Roberto, and just that's normal to us. But then I do wonder if someone's like in town for business and flipping the channel and they're like, wait, what did they just
No, I'm actually still wondering in what context did David say he slept with his neighbor's wife?
It doesn't matter, Rico. It just doesn't matter, does it?
Like, maybe I'm taking this out of context, but you're right.
Out of context, in context, who cares? We have it, and that's all that matters. Rico, I want to open with this, and I want to be inclusive, not exclusive, okay? Mm-hmm. We are about bringing people together, not tearing them apart. It is a prove-it weekend. It is a prove-it weekend for the Lions, for Michigan, and for Michigan State. Now, before some of you out there, you little worms, turn into smartasses and say, well, every weekend is a chance to prove it. Let's elevate the discussion, shall we? For the Lions, you can call it a must-win. I know that Rico's going to ask TJ that at 3 o'clock. But I think it's deeper than that. I think there's a psychosis with Lion fans that Rico reminds me of and that Kenny reminds me of and David and that you guys remind me of, is that the Lions have to prove that they're not the Lions. And they got to beat Seattle on Sunday. Michigan has to prove they're a top 5 team. No, you can't go to Iowa and lose. And no, I don't think you can go to Iowa and escape. Prove you are worth a damn. Oh, I'm dead serious now. They are sitting there as the number 4 team in America. Iowa's defense outscores its offense. That's pathetic. Put a bullet in this team. Control the game. And for Michigan State, you have to prove you're not total horsebleed. No, I'm serious. Mel Tucker and right now I'll agree. You have to prove that this season's not going off the rails. Look, we can sit here and tell you we're not happy at 6-6 or 7-5, but at least it can make sense. Rico agrees with me on this. This can't be 2016 bathwater and baby out the window 3-9. Prove it.
Yeah, win is Midnight Madness.
Right. Prove it. So here's what I want to know. Ready, people? And then I'm dropping this in Rico's lap. Who's got the most to prove this weekend? Which of these 3 teams? Is it the Lions outrunning the speeding train that is their past? Is it Michigan due to lofty expectation of being a playoff team, a national title contender, the Messiah as the quarterback, right? JJ's actually taking the field in Jordan Brand loincloth this weekend. And then Michigan State proving that they're not a horse bleep operation and a coach with a bloated contract, according to many of you. I think it is a massive prove-it weekend. So I'm going to open the phone lines. Then Rico's going to take you through it. And then we're going to have a conversation. 248-539-9797. Right here, right now, who's got the most to prove this weekend? Rico Beard, batting leadoff, begin.
It's funny, Mike. I had this conversation with David earlier today. I simply think that this has to be Michigan State because if you lose the fan base, you lose all hope for this game, and your season's over. Next week will be a sea of red in Spartan Stadium, hearing OHIO ringing from every corner in the building. If Michigan loses, you still have Michigan State and Ohio State games to focus on. Your season is not over. And I know you like to think that if the Lions lose, this is it for them, Mike. There's too many games in the NFL, and most games are still decided by 7 points or less. You still have a puncher's chance. Remember, people said that they would win 7 games. In order to win 7 games, you lose 10 of them, okay? Now, maybe I think at the end of the season, you're going to gain a lot of victories, similar to what the Tigers are doing right now, winning a lot of meaningless games. It's going to look good in the record book. But I think if MSU loses, especially if they get blown out again, people will have cashed out for this season, and good luck trying to get them back until you fire somebody. Because other than that, they're done. Michigan, and it would hurt, but it's almost like you join the fraternity of Kurt Ferentz and Kinnick Stadium, and top 5 teams going there to lose, and you'll say, well, you know what? It just happens when you go to Iowa. The Lions, they still got a chance to win more games, so that's where I'm going.
David, who has the most to prove this weekend?
I'm going with Michigan, and here's why. Because I think this is it actually is the same weekend as last year, when Cade had to prove himself that he was the quarterback, that he was the man for this team, when he went into Wisconsin on the road. And it was just, the game started, and it was just 13-10 at halftime, and there were still question marks. He did what he needed to do in the second half. They won that game convincingly, but I think that's why this is the Michigan has the most to prove this weekend, because JJ has to prove that he can take this team to the next level. That's what I was told he's going to do.
David, you know what else? Here's the other dirty secret. Harbaugh's got to prove that last year wasn't an aberration, that he's not going to lose these tough road games, that he can beat Ohio State again.
And that he made the right choice at quarterback.
There it is. I was just about to say it. Yes. So, look, maybe they're not top of the pops, but I think Michigan fans, deep within their bowels, know they have questions about their own team. They'll tell scumbag Sparties everything is awesome, we're great, you're just negative, but they know. They know the schedule they played. They know they weren't impressive last week, and they're nervous. So, yes, I think right. Everything's cool when you assassinate a Big Ten captain. So, look, I want to.
And David threw his first flag of the day.
Yeah, throw him in the garbage. So, look, who's got the most to prove? And the Lions think, look, Rico's right numbers-wise. He's right numbers-wise. But what I'm talking about isn't about a number. What I'm talking about is rewriting history. Changing hearts and minds, if you will. Because let's face it, the Lions could be 6-5, and plenty of people would come to the table like the negative fan in Major League and go, they'll blow it. SOL, it's the Lions. And it's like, they've got to overcome that. You let Geno Smith come into your stadium and beat your team, you may as well let him sleep with your wife.
Wow.
There's no greater indignity than letting Geno Smith come to your house, eat your food, defile your toilet, and not even shut the door. I'm telling you. They got a lot to prove. And I don't think it's just record-based. So, look, I am excited to do this topic, and I don't know if you guys are, but I am pumped up and ready to roll. 248-539-9797. As far as Michigan State, Rico, I don't have a problem with you putting them first. I don't. I think they are on the precipice of a bit of a death spiral.
Right, Mike, and that's why, Mike, if they lose, that's it. Season is over. I don't think you're going to a bowl game. And the fan base will fall away. And now we'll be talking about Midnight Madness next week and the basketball team.
See you in January. 248-539-9797. You can ticket text us at the same number. Also, programming note, Rico's Big Ten preview for the weekend, 5-Star Zone, anywhere you get your podcasts. Cash the ticket. Both college and pro episodes are up. If you listen to the Monday recap, we gave you the Bengals. So we started the week with a nice W there. And the kickoff show with Boomer Esiason, that will hit 5 o'clock tonight if you're subscribed. And if you're not, well, get subscribed. Don't be a deadbeat. David, ticket text, talk to me. Callers, what do you want to do here? Let's party.
I think Michigan has the most to prove. They are ranked high and are probably overrated. So if they lose, it's season over. It's playoffs or bust for this team, Mark in Huron Township. For this year,
I mean, look, there's a situation where they could lose to Iowa, but then they have to run the table. Have to. And, again, I just think if you go and lose a game to Iowa, and this is a bad Iowa team. I don't care what anybody says. It's not a good Iowa team. You can't go and lose this game. I think Michigan's trying to elevate their program. I think Michigan is trying to. It doesn't matter what you think or how the national media sponge bathes your private parts. You know deep down You're not Georgia. You're not Ohio State. You're not these power programs. You're trying to get to that level. So, take another step. Show America that your coach is for real. Show America you made the right choice at quarterback. I think it is important for them to look the part and not just pull one of these Houdini acts. No, look the part. Be impressive. Make people take notice. I think it is important. So, look, I'm leaving it to you guys. I'm not saying Rico's wrong. I don't think it's an issue of right or wrong. It's subjectively, on a personal level, what team's got the most to prove this weekend. Period.
I believe that Michigan has the most to prove with Jim trying to do the same thing as last year and the QB position. Lions don't have a lot to prove this week due to not being full strength. I think they are a good team already.
See, you know what, though? That argument, oh, we're not full strength, we're banged up, every team in the league can say it. Every team in the league. You know, the Cowboys lost their starting quarterback. Nothing more debilitating. The Arizona Cardinals could be without their top 4 receivers this weekend. Debilitating. The Chargers have a left tackle, have their best defensive player, have their best corner, have their quarterback whose ribs are in tatters. Guys, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You want to prove you're not the Lions, stop the excuses and start the results. Geno Smith comes here and beats you. Bleep off.
Why you hate on Geno so much? He was a Jet. I get it. But, Mike, come on.
He's notably bad at football. How about that as a start?
He's an NFL quarterback.
Is he? Is he?
He is.
Okay.
We count Daniel Jones. We count him.
No,
well.
He might not be counted soon either.
Yeah, I was going to say, I already have his coffin prepared. All right, we're good. We're off and running on a Friday. Let's have some fun. Let's do this. We've got the Rico Prop Bet Casino complete with Roberto A+ production on this.